Hey everyone, it's been a while. Let's chat.
The world will tremble before my genius, my power, my... Oh, for the love of science, stop grinning like that.
Welcome back to the channel if you're new here. Hi, my name is Tibbers or Derek. Either's fine, I go by either. First off, I want to apologize to everybody for the lack of content recently, especially around Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. I know a lot of you were expecting reactions, breakdowns, and just more videos in general, and I owe you an explanation. The short version is real life pulled me away harder than I expected, and on top of that, I ended up dealing with some pretty intense burnout, and honestly, I'm still dealing with it. I'm doing better than I was, but I'm not fully out of the woods yet, and because of that, my goal right now is to try and get at least one video out per month and to slowly add 1 to 2 days of streaming back here on YouTube. And I want to be realistic with myself and with you all as well. A lot of the real life stuff that was going on was a combination of family and medical emergencies and work. And I'm not going to go into the detail on either of those two things. Just know that both took a lot out of me, both mentally and emotionally. So I'm sure you all have been asking yourselves, what have I been up to? In the middle of all that chaos, there were a lot of really cool, amazing moments that happened. We got to host 2 incredibly successful panels at Denver. One was the mascot horror panel where we had representation from Zamination, Mob Entertainment, and some absolutely incredible voice actors.
Give us your favorite Foxy line.
Oh, favorite ever? Well, it's probably gonna be, I'm gonna move this. Night Guard, I'm gonna kick your ass!
He said the thing!
I hope they say that in the movie.
They should, they absolutely should.
The panel meant a lot to me. It felt like a real full circle moment to have that, and it was so great. If you haven't watched the video, it's up on YouTube. We also got to show some really cool exclusive stuff from Chapter 2 of Indigo Park, but there's been more stuff that's come out since then. Still, you should go give it a watch. I also hosted a content creator panel with Amber Loves Bugs, where we got to answer some really thoughtful questions about content creation, our creative processes, and what this whole journey looks like behind the scenes. And while we were in Denver, we got to take Amber to some really cool, amazing places like Meow Wolf, and honestly, we just had an incredible time. It was great, and those memories mean more to me than I can really put into words. And as we left August and went into October, we had a lot of travel chaos, but it was the good kind. In October, Amber and I got to travel to Florida for Halloween Horror Nights, and I want to give a huge thank you to Cobalt, who's one of the mods over in the Indigo Park Discord server, who helped make that trip happen. We got to meet up with some really amazing people at Halloween Horror Nights, such as Jake Neutron's team, Amanda, who voices Ragatha in the Amazing Digital Circus. We got to hang out with Unique Geese, and of course all these other amazing individuals like Kitten Sneeze who were there with us. It was such a fun, great time. I didn't realize who Amanda was until I asked. I asked Amber, I'm like, who is this person? And they're like, oh, that's the voice of Ragatha. And so you can just like see like the wheels turning in my head as like my face just went into realization. It was like, you're kidding. And so we were sitting inside of the Minions restaurant there in Universal Studios, and it was kind of warm, and Amanda was fanning herself. So I have this really cool fan that's a ice cream pop on a stick. It's really cool. So I was like, hey, here you go, you can use this. And she said it was really kind. And then I had to I have to build up the courage to do things sometimes. And so as we were waiting in line for one of the haunted houses, I was like, Amanda, can we take a picture together? And they were like, yeah, that's fine. And of course I'm trying to take a picture and I'm just failing at it entirely. So I'm just looking like a fool, and Amanda just takes my phone and takes the pictures, and they were great. And I was just like, I'm sorry, thank you so much. It was a really great moment, and I had so much fun, but oh my gosh, I just walked away from that going, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. We also got to hit up Disney for a day, which was a lot of fun. I got to take everybody to my favorite breakfast spot that's at Animal Kingdom Lodge called Boma. It's great for both breakfast and dinner. Highly recommended. I also dressed up as Dipper Pines, which was a huge blast. We also had Swiblet and a few of Swiblet's friends with us, which was amazing. I had such a good time. We also got to have hot pot at my favorite hot pot place there in Kissimmee called You and Me Hot Pot. It's so good. When I lived in Florida, I would go there all the time, and you know, now that I'm no longer there, I do miss it. So it was nice being able to go back and visit. And then lastly, we got to go to Epic Universe, which was literally epic. I had the best time. It is my favorite theme park that I've ever been to. Everything that is in there just makes you feel like you're walking into a different world. Like you're actually walking into the Mario universe. Like you're actually walking into the land of Berk. Like you're seeing the dragons. The animatronics were so freaking cool. but like, oh my gosh, it was such a good time. No exaggeration, it was such a good time. And honestly, it was sad saying goodbye, but we all went our separate ways and eventually made it back home, where Amber and I then realized how much money we spent, and then like was like, oh Jesus. Fun time. So after October, we went into the holiday months, which leads into my birthday. Thanksgiving went well, and then my birthday also ended up being pretty uneventful. And honestly, that's fine. I needed it to be quiet. Normally in December, I go to Chicago for my birthday. I head up MFF, which is a lovely furry convention, but this year I decided to sit it out and stay home to save on money because I spent a lot of money in Florida and gotta recover that. So yeah, but I did get something really special out of it, and that was an invitation to spend Christmas in a cabin in the mountains near Snoqualmie outside of Seattle, which was absolutely beautiful, and it was the break that I needed. I spent 6 days up there. It was so peaceful in a way that I didn't realize I truly needed. It was quiet, it was calm, and it was just a good break from the world. And I absolutely want to do it again next year, so we will see. So before the trip to Seattle, work consumed up all my time, and then literally after getting back from Seattle, work consumed all my time. So it has been a crazy ride. So that's what's been going on with me. On top of that, there's also been like kind of like a wake-up call. So during the summer, back in July, actually, I found out I was getting dangerously close to being pre-diabetic, and that was a big wake-up call for me. Content creation is amazing. I love doing it, you all. I love doing this. I love making music. I love voice acting. I love streaming on Twitch, on YouTube. I love making these videos, but it's a lot easier when it's your full-time job, and that's just not my reality. I rely on my full-time job to pay the bills because content creation for me does not bring in enough income for me to live off of. It does for other people, that's great, and I'm so happy and proud of everyone's success. With juggling work and content creation, my health itself lost the focus that I had on it previously. But since then, I have lost 30 pounds, which is really great. I'm very proud of myself for that. So that is good news. But I also know that what I'm doing is not fully enough to turn things around. So what I've done is I've hired a coach, and for the next 20 weeks, probably a little bit longer, I'm gonna be focusing on building better habits, diet, exercise, consistency, while working to drop more weight and rebuild muscle. Because of that, I've adjusted my Twitch schedule. So I'm only streaming on Sunday, Mondays, and Wednesdays right now, but I'm still aiming to get 1 to 2 videos out each month whenever possible, as well as adding an extra stream on the weekends for YouTube. Maybe during the weekdays, I don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure all that out, but my Twitch schedule has indeed changed. So let's talk about music. I know that I have been teasing a lot of different songs here lately of things that I'm working on, projects that I've got going on in the background, and yet nothing's come out. So I'm going to talk about You're the Key first, because that's important. I had to put a pause on it. And the reason why is that we did debut this song. Well, we debuted a snippet of the song at Denver. And the feedback that I got was that the music itself is really good, but the mix somehow it's just drowning out the vocals. So what I needed to do was sit down and actually look at the mix and change a few things to make it work. I think I've gotten it to a place now that it does work. However, I still need to finish it. So it's not ready yet. It's going to be a little bit longer before I have that song done. I'm hoping maybe the end of February I can get it out for you all, but it's going to depend on how things go with When We Were Young, which is the song that I'm actually going to be releasing very soon. And I know that I keep saying, oh, it's coming out soon. Oh, it's coming out soon. I literally mean it. This song is done. Vocals recorded, everything's mixed, everything's edited. It sounds great. The only 2 things I haven't done is 1, make the music video, but 2, also send the song out for release. And I'm sure you're like, well, why haven't you done that yet, Tibbers? Well, here's the answer. 1, in order to submit a song for release, it has to go through a whole process of different things that a whole legal team that my distributor handles for me, so I don't have to deal with it. But the other aspect of it is, in order to submit it, I have to have album artwork. Now, I will let you know that the artwork has been commissioned. However, the artist has been very busy. So I'm waiting on the album artwork to be done so I can submit it for release. And then once that's done, I'll have a date set and we'll be like, okay, we're good. We got a final date. We're good to go here. But the other aspect is I also commissioned a second piece, which is a visualizer that will work for the music video. So I got to have 2 things in order for me to release this song, which is the album artwork and the visualizer. The album artwork is the big piece. I can't submit the song for release without it. I can't even be like, hey, can you go and work on this stuff in the background and get the legal stuff all taken care of, unless I have the album artwork ready. And then of course the visualizer, I need that to make the video. So there are those 2 main things that I'm waiting on in order to release the song, but I promise you it's coming. And of course I've got other things that I'm working on in the background that music wise that I'm really excited about. I'm hoping that we'll actually be able to put out a lot more music this year. That is my goal. I really want to get into doing a lot of nerdcore stuff. Even if it's just covers, I still want to do it. But I want to just thank you all for your patience. I wear a lot of hats when it comes to music. I handle mostly everything myself, which includes vocal production, music production, literally almost everything. I have been seeking some help from some friends along the way. And of course, as songs are released, I will be letting people know who those friends are, make sure they get the proper credit, make sure they're credited in the songs as well. So that's it for music. And the next thing I want to kind of segue into is merch reviews. So I spent a lot of money last year buying merch to review here on YouTube. And one of my goals this year is to be better with my finances, especially smarter with them. So while merch reviews are not going away, there will be fewer of them because I am trying to be better with my money. And honestly, I just didn't see a lot of return from those merch reviews that I have seen from my other videos. I'm still going to do them. I'm just not going to be buying everything that's under the sun. I'm going to keep it to specific products that I really want to feature and focus on, but otherwise it's going to dwindle down quite a bit. Now, I do already have quite a few merch reviews that have already been recorded. They need to be edited and then uploaded for y'all to watch. You'll notice that some of them have been previously recorded at my old location instead of this apartment, but I promise you we will get those done and out to you all sometime soon. Now, moving on to the section that I'm sure all of you have skipped over everything beforehand to get to, we're going to talk about Poppy Playtime. So here's where we stand. We all know that Chapter 5, Broken Things, is going to be coming out like really soon. I'm talking like February 18th, so less than 30 days soon at this point. There have already been a few trailers that have come out and they all look super exciting. But I do want to kind of discuss what's going on here right now. So the first thing I want to talk about is that the devs have said that Broken Things will be better than Chapter 3, which I find very interesting in its own right, because that means they're comparing it specifically to Chapter 3 and not Chapter 4. And I think we can kind of all come to agreement on why that is. And before I go any further, I want to say that one, I'm not disparaging Mob. I'm not disparaging any of the devs or anything else like that. I'm just discussing what we all are thinking internally. And some of us have been expressing externally as well. Chapter 4 is an amazing game. But Chapter 4 is still dealing with performance issues, specifically with a lot of lighting problems and broken audio conversations, or even glitches and bugs that just cause the game to crash, or maybe the characters just stop working. We've seen that happen with Yarnaby. We've seen it happen with Doey and his boss battle. And of course, when Chapter 4 launched, it did launch with quite a few bugs and issues that needed to be fixed with updates. I want to be clear that I do enjoy Chapter 4. It's a great chapter, and I'm not trying to dump on it or be negative about it in any way. But I will say that as a fan and as a partner, the fact that it's still in this state, I wish that Mob had gone back and found the time to sit down and really fix those issues. Because the fact that we're playing this game currently in the state that it's in, with the lighting issues and the audio issues and, you know, sometimes the mechanics bugging out and not working properly, it can be a bit frustrating because I want to be able to play a game that works properly. I'm just hoping that Mob takes the time after Chapter 5 comes out to sit down, look at all the chapters, not just Chapter 4, but Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, etc., and start looking at maybe doing some optimization on these chapters, specifically for Chapters 2 and Chapters 4. I think those two chapters right now need the most love. So that being said, something that I noticed that was happening online was a lot of the fans being upset that the game's releasing on February 18th. And people aren't upset that it's not releasing this month like how Chapter 4 came out in January last year. People are upset because they think February is still too soon. They would rather have Mob extend it, you know, push it out further so Mob can make sure that this game is 100% polished. Now, I understand that. I know people are concerned that when Chapter 5 drops, it's going to have a lot of the same issues that Chapter 4 has. Now, I will say that I do have faith in Mob. I do believe that they will make sure that this chapter does not drop in the state that Chapter 4 was in last year. I'm hoping that's the case, but if you're listening, I'm saying this from the heart, and as a fan and as a partner, please take the time you need. I'm not upset that it's coming out next month because I truly believe that if you've set this release date, then the game's going to be ready by then. We're not going to have any issues. And Mob, if you are listening, please take the time that you need to get this chapter out. Literally, I think all of us would be okay with having it pushed out some if that's what's needed to make sure that it doesn't launch in the state that Chapter 4 did. And just as a note to everybody, you know, Mob Entertainment is a business. They have to make money. So if you're wondering why the release dates are the way that they are, it's mostly more than likely because they need to make sure that they have enough money, enough capital to pay their employees who are making the game. Now, I'm not saying they're rushing the games because they're desperate and need of money or anything like that, but it is something that people need to consider. Like, if you are a game company or you're a business and you're trying to make money off what you're developing, you know, the longer it takes to put it out, the potential of your funding running out is very much a reality. I don't think Mob's trying to rush the games because of money or anything like that. I feel that they are 100% capable of producing a full chapter that is very well put together, tells a great story, and fun to play, engaging, all the things that we loved about chapters 1, chapters 2, and chapters 3. I'm 100% confident that they can do this. But again, if chapter 5 is in the same state that chapter 4 was in as we get closer to the launch date, even on the launch day itself, none of us are going to be upset if you need to take the time that you need to finish the game and make it as good as chapter 3, as the devs have been saying. Now, that being said, let's talk about the ARG updates, because there's quite a bit here I need to get through. There have been quite a few huge ARG developments, and I'll be honest with you all, them happening so quick before launch is, I'm not used to this. Usually we get a big gap of time before we even get close to launch of the ARG launching. So this is happening in a very quick succession. But over the past couple of weeks, Mob has been dropping pieces of a decryptable ARG connected to Chapter 5's launch, and it's given us some real lore insights ahead of the release. One of the biggest reveals comes from a new piece of footage entitled Conditioning_1990. This tape shows scientists, specifically Preston Willard, PW, whose name we finally have learned, and Jessica Newman, a scientist from Chapter 2 that you can see in the Braun tape, observing experiments like catnap as they are being conditioned by watching a videotape. They even ask Catnap, "What's your name?" And if, they answer incorrectly, it looks like they were, not treated very nicely and have to go through reconditioning again.
Does it ever bother you the way they act after we...
No, not really. The work's important.
So that's pretty huge to learn that they were actually conditioning the toys. I mean, it makes sense. They had to get Huggy to the point where he would be able to stand in the entranceway without, attacking people up until the Hour of Joy happened. What's even crazier is the newest video that was just released called Restricted Condemnation 1995, in which we see Preston and Jessica both locked in a room after the Hour of Joy has happened. They have survived somehow, and they're having a discussion and conversation. And we've learned that Preston specifically knew and possibly helped these toys escape in order to enact the Hour of Joy.
Preston, you don't need to.
I just couldn't stand by and watch it happen anymore.
What are you saying?
I didn't know they would. I had no other choice.
You let them. You let them. And you didn't think they would do something like this? Tell me this is some kind of joke. My God, how could you do that?
Not just me. There were others, and we all knew this wasn't right. I think you know that too.
No, don't try to rationalize it just because you got cold feet, because you couldn't stomach the work.
Oh, the work. The work was wrong.
It's not that simple. You were still a part of it as much as the rest of us. We were supposed...
Something that he mentions that I find very important to note was that he mentions other employees. Other employees knew, and other employees were helping with this. We don't know who all that was. I'm assuming we'll learn all of that in this new chapter, which I'm really excited to find out about. So basically, there was a lot of internal collaboration that was happening in order to make the Hour of Joy happen. Now, those who participated on the human side probably didn't know that they were going to be on the chopping block. And as we can observe on the tape, from what we can tell, I don't know if either of those two individuals, PW or Jessica, are alive at this point. They started shouting and having an argument, which drew toys near them, started pounding on the door, and they had to escape where they were hiding. Now, Jessica seems to have gotten lost, so we can assume that probably at that point she had been captured by the toys and eliminated. But we do see that Preston runs and runs and runs until he collides into something, falls over, and then we see a hand grab him.
Jessica, where'd you go?
Now, We don't know if Preston's alive still. We don't know if he is now eliminated or deceased. And this is something I've been harping on since the orientation notebook came out, that the player in the game was actually PW. We still don't know if that's true or not, because we don't know Preston's fate at this point. We don't know if he's still alive. There's a chance that whomever grabbed him took him to the lift that we're discussing in the video, and he was able to escape, and now he's come back to the factory years later.
Well, when we get back to that lift, it should be a straight shot to the surface.
But back here, see? Does Bio even connect to the executive lift? I don't think it does. Maybe diagram all four, the service shaft to the train terminal, the train...
No, all four is facing east. This is backwards.
It can't be backwards. It has to connect to... This map can't be right.
We also don't know if he is deceased or not. Maybe the player is someone else who knew what was going on, who maybe took part in the Hour of Joy but did escape, or they were just a random employee that knew what was going on, found out what happened, and just was like deuces and disappeared until they got the letter to come back. There's a lot of stuff happening there that we just don't know about yet. Overall, this ARG is proving to be really good and engaging. I'm liking a lot of the visuals that they put together. It's been a lot of fun to watch the Discord servers clamber and try and figure everything out, and of course seeing everything that they're finding and releasing. It's been great. This ARG definitely is quickly taking my favorite place, because the content that they've released for it so far, especially the lore, has been the biggest lore dumps we've had in a while, and it's been very informative and engaging. So I'm really enjoying it. I hope you all are enjoying the ARG too. I can't wait to see what else they're going to be launching as part of this ARG before the game itself launches as well. I'm hoping there's more. Now, the last little bit of Poppy Playtime news that I want to cover real quick is the fact that I will be streaming chapter 5 on launch. So here's how it's going to look, because I'm not going to be streaming it immediately when it launches on the 18th. So how this is going to look is that we will be doing a dual stream both on Twitch and YouTube that you can join on either side in order to watch. But basically, I'm going to be playing chapters 1 through 5 that entire day. I will be having a guest join me for chapter 5. Not going to say who it is just yet. Keep an eye on my social medias. I'll be announcing that as we get closer to launch, and it's going to be a great time. I'm excited for it. I hope you all will come and watch. Even if you don't want to watch me play the first 4 chapters, I completely understand, but I hope you all at least tune in for chapter 5, because I'm really excited to play for you all. So yeah, that's what's been going on in my life and in the world of Poppy Playtime. I promise I'm going to try to do my best to show up more, whether that's through the interviews, which I promise are not going away. We are already trying to schedule more for next year, music, my streams, or the videos that I'm making for you all. I want to keep bringing you entertainment and hopefully put a smile on your face every now and then. So thank you so much for sticking with me. I really appreciate it more than you will ever know. But until next time, everybody, stay safe out there, make good choices, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Hello? Yeah, you, Ollie.